Okay, hello everybody, this is Charles Anderson, and I'm just a guy from Goodwill. I've got a really great video game idea, and I've been sidetracked. It's month, what, 9 of my 5-year mission to make a cool video game. And I say I've been sidetracked because, let's see here, back in January, I met I found out that there was another video game programmer, and that the local college actually is trying to form a video game making club. So I got introduced to Unity, and I was like, hey, that's pretty easy. So yeah, I actually made a little video game in Unity, and yes, I will give out kudos to Unity for having a wonderfully let's open this. All right, for having a wonderfully how do I put it? Easy to use type setup.
Welcome to Super Spatial Suburb Simulator.
So I just whipped this together, went into Blender, made a bunch of models, went into GIMP, made a bunch of painting, made music in Audacity. Oh yeah. So anyway, this game.
Welcome to Super Spatial Sub.
This game is actually was I say was going to be released for the phone because it sounded nice to like maybe make a phone app and something that worked with touch screen. And I was like, yeah, you know what? One of the what would be really hilarious is if we made like this little village thing. And of course, you got this house under construction here. Where the people could all do different things. Oh, I clicked house. Yeah. There we go. And of course, this is like alpha. I mean, I don't even know that I'll be releasing it. But the whole idea is that you've got this little flat playing field. Of course, I could make it where it has mountains and valleys and stuff like that. But the whole idea is that this is just supposed to be one of those peaceful games where you can just build houses, and once the houses are full, then, if there's a person nearby, let's see here. Oh, and I have it to where you can set how you want your houses to look. But there's like different houses, hot sauce towers, milk towers, all kinds of stuff, radio towers, schools, apartment buildings. I was gonna like have like gas stations and little things that you could just place in here. And the whole idea is that like somebody would be playing this game, then after like 5, 6, maybe 10 minutes, all of a sudden a monster just comes down, starts trashing it, and basically how well you built your village and is how much fun the monster gets to have with it. And after a certain time has elapsed, the monster runs off. It's game over, and however happy the monster got to be was the score. So yeah, really dorky idea, but fun nonetheless. I don't know if I'll finish it just because I'm trying. I've accumulated enough guilt off of not programming Iteag to get me back on track. So anyway, that's this little game. It's cute. It's nice. And don't save because I'm just close that. So I'm probably going to clean up my desktop after that whole fun thing. Oh, yes. And so I got back into jMonkeyEngine because I'm getting back, because, yeah, at last point, where last I left off, I'm making my toolkit. And I was working with Nifty GUI, and recently I ran into a problem, like, what if I wanted to have hologram panels, just arbitrarily wanted to have hologram panels. And with Nifty GUI, let's see, show off. One of the things is that test Nifty GUI. Okay, there's Nifty GUI. So yeah, test Nifty example. Is that one it? Yep, not able to find it. So Nifty GUI, I guess I should have set it to set drag to rotate. But anyway, you can actually just do XML for your UI elements, and I went on ahead and altered it so that it has an over. And so with Nifty GUI, yes, you can render it to a quad. Head up here. But one thing, the mouse input is programmed for the viewport. So it's as if the viewport here has the invisible element for the mouse input range, and yet you render to the quad, but your interface as far as mouse is still on there. And so I went on ahead and says like, oh well, is there one that's already ready for 3D? And yes, there is. So let's see, run file. So Tone God GUI. So here's like the same thing. I mean, well, there's I've got the sample 3D cube, and I was like, okay, so how does it look? Oh, and I think I just put a quad up, not actually a box. No, there is a box there, so it is the standard. But the cool thing, you can resize your windows, and you can put buttons in them, and I was like, hey, that's some pretty good thinking on his part, and so I was like, okay, so I learned how to render a back buffer to a surface, and of course here's a cube, and now jMonkey actually has a better version of this. I was just seeing, what encode I would have to do, but this square here, you see this blue and gray on this square. Well, that's actually another scene where the viewport's being cleared to gray, and there's actually a blue cube on that surface, and that's being rendered to a back buffer, which is then being used as a texture for the main rendering. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So then I asked some questions on the forum, and I was like, okay, so let's go ahead and see we can do this rendering to a back buffer, and he also has where it's called a subscreen class rather than a screen class, which can be assigned to a geometry. And here's a little 256 by 256 texture rendered to a quad. And over here it looks like a gray sphere, but it's actually, I went on ahead and activated the alpha rendering, set the viewport to 0 on the alpha so that it would be clear, and this is the result for the sphere rendering. So yes, I can have my hologram panels if I should so desire. But yeah, I was like, yeah, that's pretty nice. And it still has the same functionality and everything because it doesn't map straight to here. With subscreen, it maps to a geometric surface and then goes by some calls there. Now, you'll notice that I'm clicking but not able to grab, and what it is I don't think epsilon's been considered. That's where all these shapes, they're actually a bunch of triangles. Well, on some of the math, unless you consider like a certain degree of error for checking, then if it's like right along the line, it won't register because it's neither in this one nor in this one because it's just right along the edge. And so shapes with a lot of polygons on them won't register the clicks as easily. There we go, got a hold of it. So yeah, it's just a little, but the whole principle behind that is you have this triangle and your mouse ray connects with the triangle, and then you find the texture coordinates 0 to 1 on the UV grid, and you can move around considering that your entire bitmap versus that 0 to 1 coordinate. It's like a multiplier if you want to think of it that way. So that's what I've been playing with. I'm getting ready to make a tool for jMonkeyEngine because I'll be using this tool obviously to make my game. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on a toolkit that I want to work with to make my game. So I've started up a NetBeans module project, and both of those plugins from the standard jMonkey installation, I have added Here we are. Downloaded, installed. I have added Tone God. Where are you at here? Where are you at, Tone God? I don't see it. Durr. Well, anyway, it's called Tone God UI. It's still technically an alpha, at least if I remember correctly, because he's still adding stuff to it, and also the um, NetBeans plugin to develop modules, and also the documentation. So that's what I'm working on. And so, sorry for those who have subscribed to my channel. Yes, I know that I'm not putting out information like really fast, but like I said, I've been sidetracked. My apologies. All right, that's about it for this update. I just thought I'd throw it out there because I'll probably be posting again as I make tools. And other than that, I know I need to get back on my how to understand Java, but yeesh, I'll get to it as I get to it. Okay, y'all have a great one, and I'll probably also be dropping some more jMonkeyEngine tips as I go. Y'all have fun.